Authorities say there's no casualties yet due to Typhoon Henry, which is expected to exit the Philippine area of responsibility tonight. Some walk-in applicants for educational aid still flock to payout centers despite repeated reminders to register online. And oil companies are expected to implement a rollback in the prices of their fuel products next week. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin the newscast with a situation report on Typhoon Henry's onslaught. Let's get details from NDRRMC spokesperson, Mr. Bernardo Alejandro IV is joining us over the phone. He also serves as Civil Defense Deputy Administrator for Operations. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Riza. Good evening to all our listeners.
Sir, we'd like to see clarification. The NDRRMC says there is still no casualties from Typhoon Henry, contrary to earlier reports. Can you tell us more?
Yes, direct casualty that we can attribute to Henry, there is none. No? But the one reported previously from Ifugao was due to the Habagat system. So, but just this evening, we received another report from Ilocos that there is one reported casualty due to drowning. But this is still subject for validation. So, the system that's prevailing over Ilocos is also the Habagat or the monsoon. So, we're just trying to check with the local DRRMOs and with Pag-asa where we can attribute these casualties.
Sir, are there ongoing evacuation efforts right now, and do we have a number as to how many people have been evacuated so far?
So far, we only receive a report from Basco Batanes that there are 5 individuals or 5 families, no? Families that's close to 30 individuals evacuated in Basco Batanes. Other than that, we have not received any reports on evacuation.
How about, sir, the situation over there at Batanes and Cagayan? Can you give us an update?
Yes, so far the reports we are receiving is that they only the effect was more on the winds. So there are no major damages or effects in Batanes or in Cagayan, Santa Ana area. The most was that suspension of classes and suspension of sea travel in those areas.
Okay. Well, final question, sir. Do we already have a number as to the expected damage when it comes to agriculture and infrastructure brought about by Typhoon Henry?
For Typhoon Henry, we are expecting less damage to infra. For one, because Henry did not make any landfall. So if we use Florida as a benchmark, where reported damage in regions 1 and CAR reach 500 million, so we are expecting less than 500 million as direct damage for Henry.
Well, thank you, sir, for sharing with us all those information. That was NDRRMC spokesperson, Mr. Bernardo Alejandro IV. Meanwhile, the third leg of educational aid distribution pushed through in most parts of the country despite heavy rains. JC Cosico has the report.
Rains did not stop people from lining up to get their educational ayuda during the third leg of distribution. In Metro Manila, there were 3 designated payout centers, including the SWAD facility in Taguig City. At the Nayon na Kabataan Payout Center in Mandaluyong City, some failed to claim their cash assistance due to incomplete requirements.
Kasi na-text lang ako kahapon ng hapon, wala na akong time na mag-request po ng sa school. Kasi since sa Valenzuela pa po yun, nag-aaral yung anak ko.
Others, meanwhile, tried to push their luck despite repeated reminders that walk-ins are not allowed.
Nagbaka sakali po wala kami dito na okay na yun. Yun pala,
may aantay yung pantek. Kailangan pa po si sa school supply ng mga bata. Kulang pa po kasi yung mga gamit eh.
The same situation was observed in Sampaloc, Manila. Some applicants insisted on getting their ayuda despite not receiving a text confirmation yet.
Actually po, bago po itong lumabas na balitang may sa DSWD, nag-registered na po pala ang mga anak ko. Mama, bago po yan lumabas, naka-registered na po kami.
The Social Welfare Department said applicants may have to wait for around a week to get their schedule, as online applications have already reached 2 million.
Humihingi kami ng pangunawa at dispensya na medyo natatagalan. Ginagawa po talaga namin by batch yung pagre-reply, malapit po sa araw o sa panahon ng kanila pong scheduled payout para po masiguro natin na maayos yung atin pong magiging pamamahagi.
Off-site payouts have also been launched for those who don't have access to internet and gadgets in Region 4.
Inuuna po muna natin talaga yung DIDA area. Kahit tayo man deploy sa malalayong lugar, kahit nasa lungsod na tayo sa ibang probinsya, mahina pa rin yung ating connectivity. So ito po yung ginagawa natin ngayon.
Meanwhile, payouts in some areas like in parts of Batanes and Ilocos Sur were cancelled due to inclement weather. Around 400 beneficiaries had to be rescheduled.
Kung umayos nga po yung panahon, anytime soon, ay mag-aabiso po yung ating mga field offices doon at maaari na po nating ituloy yung payout.
The distribution will continue every Saturday until September 24, which could still be extended depending on the turnout. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The national government's debt swelled to a new record high at 12.89 trillion pesos in July. According to the Bureau of Treasury, the debt stock grew 0.8% or around 96 billion pesos from June's 12.79 trillion pesos. The Treasury attributed the increase to additional local and foreign borrowings and currency adjustments. Now, since the end of December last year, the government's debt has widened by 9.9% or 1.16 trillion pesos. And we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Oil prices are expected to drop next week. Energy Department Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad said prices of gasoline are expected to go down by 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter, while both diesel and kerosene could see a price cut of over a peso per liter. Oil firms will announce official price adjustments on Monday, which will take effect the next day. The United States has announced a $1.1 billion arms package for Taiwan, vowing to keep boosting the island's defenses. The package includes $665 million for contractor support to maintain and upgrade an early radar warning system. Taiwan will also spend some $355 million for Harpoon Block 2 missiles and over $85 million for Sidewinder missiles. The sale comes a month after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan, prompting China to launch a show of force. EJ Obiena continues to rack up wins in pole vaulting, this time beating world champion Armand Duplantis at the Brussels Diamond League. Obiena cleared 5.91 meters on his third attempt, beating both Duplantis and Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Chris Nielsen. This marks Obiena's first victory against Duplantis, who has been dominating the pole vault scene with jumps over 6 feet. This is also Obiena's third straight gold medal over the past week. And for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.